a quick story about me is that I'm originally from Hong Kong, moved here from Hong Kong to Canada on my own when I was 16. So I had to overcome the language barrier, culture shock, my shyness. And at that time, I was really, really lost and thought my parents didn't want me, and that's why they sent me over here. So at that early stage, I already had 4 part-time jobs while I was in school, did a lot of volunteer work, and at a very early stage, I discovered actually I was really good with numbers, so I started my own tutoring business way back in high school. Quit all my part-time jobs then, and then tutored everyone from grade 1 to university level throughout my entire university education while volunteering 10+ hours. Also went into the Ivy Business School. Upon graduation, I joined TELUS, a part of their leadership development program. Had 6 different roles within 3 years. Worked in marketing, operations, workforce planning. Had a great career there. But throughout that time, I was still following my passion. I was always doing recruiting work, training work, mentoring work, coaching work. So something that I just have this passion about people development, helping them discover who they are, what they want, and what they have to offer. And then 3 years later, after TELUS, I went back to my MBA school, decided to write 2 research papers on global talent management strategies and the issues that are happening. So because of my passion in people, I wanted to understand what's really happening globally here. And we do have a shortage of talent in the world. Not as there a shortage of people, but a shortage of talent because of all the new technology, all the new roles that are coming up. After that, so upon graduation, I joined Accenture in management consulting, specializing in talent organization performance, specifically in training design and change management work. Liked that work, but didn't love it because I was really doing a lot of work related to technology, not people. So that's when I decided to move into recruiting and join the Ivy Business School as an MBA recruiting and admissions manager for the MBA program and the executive MBA program. So within a year, I was presenting, traveling around in Canada, meeting different people from young professionals to C-level professionals, and helping them. Essentially, I was selling them to pay an $80,000 to $90,000 program for an MBA school there. Loved it. That move, I actually specifically did it strategically because I knew back then I wanted to start my own business. So I went into recruiting, strategically think that I wanted to broaden my network in order to help more people and understand, what their needs are and what their challenges are. So fast forward, after a year and a half, I founded my business because I was getting married. I had to move back to Toronto here, founded my business, and really pursuing my passion. And essentially, what I do now as a career coach and trainer is to help people differentiate as top talent so that they can get hired faster. When I founded my business in January 2011, literally within 2 weeks, I got a call from one of my friends from Google. And my MBA friend said, "Diana, would you like to join Google as the first recruiter here in Toronto?" And I was like, this is perfect. It's like I get paid to get trained to learn how to recruit the world's best talent for a company like Google. Meanwhile, doing my business on the side for a year. And that job was, Google was on contract, so it was a year. But within a year, I reviewed over 5,000 resumes, helped them achieve the best of the best talent, and helped them double their office in a year. I achieved the highest number of hires globally. And what I really learned was really about playing to your strengths. So if I could share with you my simple rule about in terms of turning your passion into profits is I have this 3-step rule I call the SIN rule, S-I-N. S stands for strengths. Are you good at what you do? I is interest. Do you enjoy it? Do you like it? And then the N is the need. Is there a need for this? So I'll give you back an example. When I first started my math tutoring business back in 1998, back then, I was good with numbers. So that's my strength. I was good at it. I was from Hong Kong. I was just really, really good at it. Interest, I loved helping people. I love helping them win and achieve. And the need, I knew there was a tremendous need. It was in the news that students need help with math. So that's the simple rule that I use in terms of following your passion is that you got to be good at it, you got to like it, and there needs to be a need for it for those people who are willing to pay for it there. Okay. So how do you define passion? Passion is really about something you deeply love and care about. Doing things that truly matter to you. Things that are meaningful. When you have found your passion, that's when you feel fulfilled. And when you look at this postcard that I give you here, there's a gift that you have here, you can frame it, it's about career fulfillment. Career fulfillment is doing work that you were great at, that you're passionate about, you're well paid to do, that honors your values of what's important to you, that you find meaningful, that calls to you, inspires you, challenges you, and makes a difference. And that's what passion is about. I find, actually this morning I had breakfast with a friend who's also a life coach, and we were talking about how when you're in your state of, in your element of passion or what you love doing, I came up with these 3 F words. I said, what does it mean when you're in that element of doing things? I said, you feel free, you feel it's fun, and it flows. Things just become easy. Even actually in preparing for this talk, I actually found it just 2 days ago, like 48 hours ago about this. And people have been panicking, like they're preparing for this talk. And I'm like, what, don't worry, I did this, like I know about this, I'm passionate about it, I'll be fine. And literally within the last 48 hours, things were coming to me about this passion. I was listening to things on my audio. I subscribed to Success Magazine, and there was something that I talked about here that I want to share with you as well, some stats. It says, this is just why passion ties into strength. It says, when you play to your strengths, it reduces your stress, and it makes you happier. This was studied done by the Gallup organization that studies like the strengths. They surveyed 5,000 American adults. So here's a quick stat for you. It says that when you play to your strengths, 75% reported the happiness level has gone up. When you play it for 10 plus hours, it's 93% that says that happiness level. The other one, but this one's really high, is that initially when you play to your strength, they feel it, 87% feel they're treated with respect. 87%. If you play it for 10 plus hours, 95% feel they're treated with respect. So meaning you feel valued. And a big part of turning your passion into profits is how can you add value to others. As a career coach, it's not just about thinking about how much money you're going to make. It's really about how can you add a lot of value to other people. When you can add value to other people or their business, that's when people see that that they value you as well. And you feel respected. They see you as an expert. And this is why I talk about it's also part of your personal brand. Your personal brand is your identity, is your reputation, which is like what are you known for, your expertise, and what is your unique value proposition, what you have to offer, what's your promise there. All right, so the first D is about your dreams and desire. When you ask the question of what are your dreams, when you think back about your childhood days, like people ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? What are those dreams that you have? And dreams can change. One of my big dreams is I really want to inspire people to achieve excellence. When I took this coaching course, I literally saw myself a big dream of standing in front, like back in China, speaking to millions of people and inspiring them to achieve excellence. The other one is desire. What are your desired feelings? So instead of just talking about the goals, you also want to, how do you want to feel, when you're in the element of being who you truly are. So for example, for me, I want to feel inspired. I want to feel connected with people. I want to feel authentic, being who I am, staying true to myself. When I grew up, actually came here to Canada, I actually struggled in fitting in. It's through the background. I immigrated to Canada when I was 5, moved back when I was 10 to Hong Kong, came back again when I was 16. I struggled in fitting my identity, and now it's funny. I'm in the business of helping people to differentiate, to be different, to be unique. But so I believe that sometimes we have to go through some of these struggles to be able to also help other people as well here. So that's first D. The next is the I, interest and inspiration. And this is a great task actually, and some of you are going to ask some questions and just what are some words that come up immediately that come up in your mind? What are activities you enjoy doing? It's the first one that comes into mind. You don't have to say it to anyone, just write it out. What ideas and knowledge do you enjoy learning? What problems do you enjoy solving? What things do you enjoy having? And what places do you enjoy going? What experience do you enjoy gaining? This is actually interesting, it's really important because it helps you understand what you naturally gravitate to, that becomes natural to you. So for example, when I came here, I grew up with because I didn't have parents here, I read a lot of self-help books. But I started realizing I love this stuff, like the whole personal development arena, leadership, communication. I started reading a lot of that. So I started thinking, how can I use this knowledge and help other people as well? Right? So just ask yourself, like, what are some of the knowledge that you enjoy learning that becomes natural to you here? One thing about that interest piece is that the inspiration is like, who are maybe some role models that you look up to? What inspires you? Because that also helps you to also define that your style and brand as well. Like when I think about what inspires me when I look at my stuff, it's very colorful, it's bold, it's fun. It's part of like the inspiration I look for on a day-to-day basis as well to shape, the work that I share with others. S is strengths and skills. And this is really important. The book that I recommend is Strengths Finder 2.0. To help you identify your top 5 strengths. This is actually a great way as well, for you to be able to speak about that, articulating confidently to an employer of what is it that you have to offer based on what you are good at here. So, what are your gifts? What do you naturally excel at doing? Naturally, it just becomes natural to you there. By looking at your strengths and your interests, it will help you identify also what are the skills you want to use in a job. So I'll give you an example. So for me, one of my strengths, my number of strengths based on the Strengths Finder 2.0 book, it says that my number 1 strength is I'm a maximizer. Number 2 is I'm a relator. Number 3 is positivity. Number 4 is achiever. Number 5 is focus. So I knew that I want to help people back then. And I'll tell you something, by the way, we all say we know what a passion is, but I'll tell you, I didn't really figure out what exactly I wanted to really do until really the last 3 or 4 years where I invested a lot of myself in personal development training. Okay? So it is a journey. Like, if you're anyone still trying to figure that out, like, it is a journey. I realized when I went to consulting, I was like, yeah, I'm helping clients to solve problems. But throughout that journey, I was like, something's missing. I don't feel fulfilled. And the aha moment came when I went back to these strengths, is that my strength is helping people achieve excellence. The book says, when someone wants to build a house, I'll be the one to build a castle. So I want to be in the space where helping people achieve greatness, not in the space of consulting where it's always problem solving, just really figure out what's wrong. I want to help you say that you're awesome, you're amazing. That's what I do as a coach right now. I get paid to help people like, you're amazing, and you own your greatness. That's a space that I thrive in and it becomes like really easy. So I really challenge you to what comes natural to you. Character and career calling. So this is like, who you are. What 5 words describe you? How would your friends describe you? Where are those words? This is part of your personal brand as well. Career calling is essentially what is your mission in life? Like, what are you willing to stand up for? What are you willing to die for? That's your career calling. When you have that, the way you speak, the way you show up becomes much easier. I can tell you that when I was in university, because I had the language barrier, I had the softest voice in class, to the point where people were like, Diana, speak up in class. And it was really, till the last few years, I really worked on it because I knew I wanted to do motivational speaking. That I need to work on this. If I want to do motivational speaking, I need to be able to stand up there and talk. And it was one thing I discovered that made a shift was that authenticity is important. I should stop comparing how I need to speak like a certain person. I just need to be who I am. Oh, objectives and opportunities. What are your goals? What would you like to achieve, in the next 3 to 5 years? And based on that, what are some opportunities that are out there? And to help you, to help other people as well, for example. Let me give you an example. So in my space, I know that talent shortage is an issue, right? So by 2015, 60% of the new jobs created only, I forgot this stat right now. 60% of the jobs created, only 40% will have the skill sets to fulfill those roles. So what it's saying is that there is a major problem. And so for me, the opportunity when I identify is how can I help address that? So part of what I'm doing now is that, one, if you've seen the last few years with massive layoffs, right? layoffs. And then the other thing is I see like individuals who are lost in the sense of what do I want to do, and hence people looking at doing MBA school as an example. So part of what I do is I'm in that in between, helping them figure out like what do you want and how do you differentiate, how do you become more marketable, so that when you come to an employer, that you can actually accelerate, achieving your goals a lot faster then. Okay. What type of opportunities get you excited? And one thing I really encourage, like I talk about this, is that you want to diversify in the area you specialize in. Okay, so people sometimes get confused with this. What I mean by that is that you have a big area that you may be interested in, and you want to like play in the different areas so that you can have a diverse skill set. Okay, and that makes you more marketable and valuable, because you never know what happens in the market. So I'll give you an example. The area I'm in is talent, right? Talent management, talent development. So I've played in the area of training, recruiting, coaching, leadership development, mentoring. I've been in all those areas. So that helps in terms of what you call the whole chain, from helping people to get hired to developing people. I understand what people go through there. Okay? So diversify with what you specialize. Values and vision. What's important to you? Values is really important. Values is like, imagine it's like your anchor or your compass in guiding you in your life and career directions. When your values are not being honored, you don't feel good, right? So as an example, if one of you have a value for, let's say, respect or honesty, and if someone doesn't respect you or are not honest to you, how would you feel? You would feel like something's wrong, right? So you want to ask yourself, what are those things that are really important to you that you must have in your life to live that passionate and fulfilled life there? And what are things you can do on a day-to-day basis to honor those values? Because when you honor those values on a day-to-day basis, things become easy. So here are some examples of some values. I encourage you to write down like your top 5 values and prioritize them, and what those values mean to you. So my values are authenticity, connection, inspiration, passion, and positivity. So these are my important values. And I encourage you to also define that, because the way, say, you and I have the same value for authenticity, it may mean different things to each other. Okay? So define out what it means to you. Vision is, where do you see yourself? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. You really want to ask yourself this big goal of like, where do you see yourself? What's that lifestyle that you want to have? When I think about turning my passion to profits, is that I see like with the lifestyle, I want to have the autonomy and freedom to be able to do what I want, but also make a difference as well. So I am right now in the process also setting up that business where it allows me to have the autonomy to travel but yet also help other people as well. And one thing I encourage you to do as a vision is create a vision board. Create a vision board where, if your visuals are like cut up things from the magazine or newspaper, or these days you can use like something like Pinterest to create your vision board. And that helps you also stay focused and excited. Experience and expectations. What experience do you have? And I think this is important in terms of about turning passion into profits, is that not only to be good at it, but you also want to get experience and to build that credibility, to build that trust with people, right? The better that you get at it, the more experience that you get, people are willing to pay more. And I've noticed this for myself as well. Like I started off, I did a lot of speaking events for free. Today I still do that as well. But even my coaching, I started off just making maybe like $50 an hour, to now that I charge $250 an hour. Because I get people results. I add value. Expectations. What are your 5 criteria in assessing the right career for you? And this goes back to, if you're going to have 10 opportunities, what are those must-haves based on the values of what's important to you? Based on, let's say, the lifestyle. It's a big company or small company. What are those criteria that's important to you to help you assess that and evaluate it? And lastly, results and recognition. This is a great way to think about, okay, what impact have you